In today's video, we're going to try out 10 different ways to color engravings on laser cut acrylic. We'll also do a water fastness test to determine the best all-around color options. This is my first time coloring laser cut acrylic, so I'm excited to see what color comes out on top. Welcome to my channel. I'm Christina, and this is Hobby with Christina, where we explore different hobbies together. Let's get started with today's hobby.
So we're starting with 10 of the same pieces that look like this. These are little penne pastas that I made to sample these paints. We have a bunch of different blacks to try first. I think that's probably going to be the most common color I'm going to use. And then 4 more that are more fun colors. So we have India ink, black gel nail polish that needs to be UV cured, a black acrylic paint, an black acrylic paint pen, block printing ink, faux gel nail polish in black, metallic acrylic paint, a tone-on-tone colorful nail polish, a glitter nail polish, and a colorful acrylic ink.
Let's start with India ink. For all of these, I started by applying the color to the surface. I found out really quickly that only coloring the engraved area was really not possible. So we're just looking to make sure that the engraved area gets covered completely in all the little nooks and crannies. After applying the color, we want to just wipe away the excess colorant immediately. You can see for some of them I'm using a plastic scraper and some just a paper towel to wipe off the excess. And then we'll let it sit for a little while before coming back to do a more full cleanup. I found these acrylic marker pens on Amazon. I thought they were really interesting because they give you a little bit more control in application, and there's not the paintbrush cleanup afterwards as well. I decided to grab this block printing ink because I had it in my studio and I wanted to test supplies that were kind of easily on hand or easily accessible.
And nail polish was a sort of similar logic, so I have so many colors of nail polish at home available to me, so I thought it'd be great if they happened to work for this, and I had a few different types to try out and see how they would go. Acrylic on acrylic really just makes sense to me.
So another option aside from black that I thought I would use a lot is a kind of contrasting colorful metallic. I had such high hopes for this nail polish since I have so many nail polishes sitting in a drawer. Glitter is always tricky to apply to get the density for it to read well, and that was no exception here. And then when scraping it away, it really scraped all the glitter off, so it was really tricky. And last but not least is this beautiful neon pink acrylic ink.
Okay, so this is the results after I've let things dry for a day. So you can see the India ink does pretty good. It held in some spots a little bit more firmly than others. So I'd give this a 7 out of 10.
You can see the gel nail polish was a bit of a fail. I was hopeful because it is nice and dark where it did hold, but you can see already just from cleaning it up a little bit, things are peeling away and chipping off. The black acrylic, I think, is another good 7 or 8 out of 10. Pretty easy to clean up, pretty easy to apply. The acrylic marker was probably the easiest to apply, and had about the same cleanup as the acrylic paint. So another 8 out of 10. The block printing ink did not fare as well as the India ink, but held on a little bit. So maybe a 6 out of 10 for this one. The fake gel nail polish was terrible. For all the nail polishes, they all kind of failed in the same way, and except for the gel nail polish. The other nail polishes all were really difficult to clean off of the surface. You can't use acetone, otherwise you'll damage the acrylic. I was hoping to be able to wipe it off, but if you're wiping it off when it's wet, then it pulls up more than what you want. So it just did not work. The acrylic paint, the glitter acrylic paint did not do so great on this one. But I did do a second test that it worked better on. So for the penne, it was maybe like a 5 out of 10. But I also decided to try it on a darker color with a little bit deeper engraving lines, and it worked a lot better. This is like a 8 or 9 out of 10. It's holding really well. The yellow nail polish failed in the same way that the black fake gel nail polish did. It's a little hard to see because the color contrast is not great on this color, but there's nail polish that adhered to the surface and I was not able to get it to lift off. And the same failed here. So you can kind of see through the shine. It looks almost like a sheen of glue is on it, and it just looks terrible. So for both of those nail polishes, 1 out of 10, do not recommend. And then the acrylic ink also worked pretty well. You can see it got caught in the hole there a little bit, which I don't mind. It'll eventually wear away with when a jump ring is put in there. But it held pretty well into the engraving lines. So I give this the same as kind of the India ink, 7 out of 10. Okay, I just did a quick water test to see what would be water fast. What I did is dunk it in the water and then rub it against the paper towel. I first wanted to see if anything would drip. So like if you wore these out in the rain, would some of the ink or colorant drip off of them. None of them dripped. However, these 4 here, when you rub it with a paper towel, some of the colorant does come off. So it happened the most with the block printing ink that almost entirely came away, and then the other 3 were kind of like a little light layer came away. So to me, that means they're pretty safe to like wear out and about every day without too much concern of the rubbing off onto your clothing or anything like that. I think the rubbing onto a paper towel like I did for the test is not a typical situation. I don't expect most people to try to dry their jewelry or accessories with a towel afterwards. So if I was gonna rate these, my go-tos are gonna be the 2 acrylics here, the acrylic pen and the acrylic paint, and including the metallic over here, for just the sheer cost effectiveness and versatility. That's gonna give us a lot to play with, and having kind of those 3 those will be my primary go-tos. Number 2 for me would be the acrylic ink. The downside of that is obviously you need to buy like a container of ink in all the different colors, so it's not very cost effective at all. And that's the same issue with the India ink, that each of these containers is between $5 and $15, so that can add up really, really quickly. And then my third choice would be the India ink. So these would probably be the ones that I'll play with some more, the acrylics and the India ink, and I will not be going back to any of the nail polishes or the block printing ink for my future work and experiments. I hope this was helpful. Please leave any additional questions or suggestions on other colorants to test in the comments. Thank you.